like cutting these 2 months from now. You don't have to deal with the leaves. They don't catch the top as bad. This is a workout. Once I get this down, I'll bring you guys back on, and I'll show you what I do from this point. This may take me a minute. Okay guys, so what I've done is I've lifted the tree up and I've got it propped on the stump back there. Raise this guy up off the ground a little bit. Now what I like to do is I'm going to cut back a little bit and get a nice flat edge here. And then as soon as I drop that cut off, we're going to seal this with wood glue. Wood glue is about the best for the money that you can use, probably, or that I have found anyway. So you want to do this about as quick as you can do it. Get it rubbed in there nice and good. You want to imagine wood like a pack of straws, okay? So your straws are running this way. Openings on this end and this end. Your wood dries faster through the straws than it will from the side. So that's why you want to seal these ends, to keep these from checking. Now you're always going to have some checks, but you see right here in the center there, it's starting to check there. It's really all I see right now, but over time that will check a little bit more. But as long as you seal them, when you go to make your bows from your staves, you won't lose as much of the wood that you have to cut off to get that checking out of your bow. Yeah, you can see here, nice check running right up along there. I usually use the checks, and I'll show you guys this here in a later video. I usually use the checks as a guide when I'm splitting these. It's better to work with the wood than to fight the wood. And so when you go to split your staves out, if you can find those natural checks, you'll split straighter and nicer staves out than you would if you just, I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I do it all the time. I split where there's not checks, but I found it's a lot easier to follow the natural checking of the wood when you're splitting out your staves. So what I'm going to do is go up about, I don't know, 7 to 9 feet or so, depending on where I want this stave to end, on how the wood's crooking up there. And then I'm going to cut this off and do this to both sides of my cut. So I'll bring you guys back here in a second when I'm ready to do that, and let you guys watch that. Okay guys, so I found my spot, and this branch is coming right about here, and it's bending. And so I'm gonna cut my joint right back behind it just a little bit, somewhere in here. And then I should be able to get another 7-8 foot piece out of this side, and possibly a 5 or 6 foot one up there at the end. But for sure we got this nice bottom piece, and I can probably, depending on what I find inside the wood, I can at least get 4 out of this one here. Sometimes I get lucky and get 6 or 8, but most generally I'll probably get about 4 out of that one. So, all right. Alright guys, that's basically how you do it. And now the fun part is getting this 400 yards to the truck with these. Sometimes I cut big enough ones till I can build my mover cart that I want to build. I've got to end over end these all the way there. It's quite a workout. That's why it's much nicer if you can do this with 2 people. You can both shoulder the log and truck one out at a time. I might be able to shoulder this one. I probably can, because I was able to lift this whole tree up to set it up on this stump here, but that's how you do it. Or that's how I do it anyway. It's the easiest and best way I've found to do it by myself, to do it. And if you saw that red rope I was using earlier, that's what I call this, my tree rope that I made. And oh, I don't know, it's all in all, it's probably 10 foot long total. But I take this and I'll throw it around the tree and chuck it up, and it just gives me a more comfortable position to continue to pull these logs down. And I can use this same rope to drag my logs out of here, and it's real handy. I used to do this without this rope, and you know, I'll never go back to doing it without a tree rope. This is by far much easier when you're doing this solo than not having this rope. So, but anyways, I'm gonna get after it. I'll bring you guys back here and there while I'm working and explain some more things and show you guys some stuff. So, but all right, like and subscribe, and hope you guys learn a little bit today on my little bow stave harvest adventure. So, keep it wild, boys. Hey guys, brought you back on real quick. So, I realized one thing I didn't explain, and some of you might be wondering, is what do I do when I get to one of these? Do I need to seal that, or what? I seal mine. I always seal these. Now this one's dead. So what tends to happen when a branch dies is the tree will seal these off inside the knot itself. It'll start shoving more sap and resin into this spot to seal this wound. That way when this finally breaks off, it doesn't create an open gateway for bugs and stuff to bore into the wood. So most likely this is already sealed. Now I'm going to go ahead and seal it anyway, just because I do. But once I get this cut off, and I generally try to cut these pretty close to my main tree bark here. It's just something I like to do. You know, it's not, I don't have edges sticking out here to catch on me when I'm trying to get them all the way over there. So, but anyway, I'll go ahead and cut this off for you guys and seal it up for you. There you go. And I do the same to live branches too. Even ones this big, I still seal them. So I'm just anal like that, I guess. But all right. Alright guys, I'm going to take you on a trip with me. Show you how I get these logs out of here. And these are all about 8-9 foot long. Wherever you're at in the tree. I gotta rotate this. Wherever you're at in the tree dictates how much weight you got to carry out. This is the part I dread the most about harvesting staves solo. Okay. Now it's easier from here on out. I was going a different way, and I decided to take a shorter path. I had to cut it out, but it's about 100 yards less than the way I was going. There you have it. A lot of work. See, all these are too young yet. I mean, you could still probably get a bow or so out of each one, but if I'm gonna go through the trouble of carrying these things out, I want to actually get more out of my staves than harvesting these young ones. So, and the ones I'm harvesting are still pretty young. I mean, they're probably 10, 12, 15 years old or so. But as you can see, I am in no short supply of black locust, as this is just the south locust grove. This is the biggest one, but there's a northeast one or west one over here, and then there's a bunch strung out through all these old mulberries and ashes that have run back in through here. And then on the other side of the pond over there, I've got a bunch growing too. So I don't think I'm gonna run out anytime soon. Hey guys, so I found a really nice tree here, or one I dropped earlier, and I was just getting ready to cut it down, and I was looking at it. So I won't be able to take that one. I'll probably mark it though, because maybe someday the nest won't be there, but yep, not taking that one. Hey guys, Chris here. So I'm a little low on energy from my harvesting yesterday, so I was going to show you guys how I'm getting these staves out this morning, or I guess it's this afternoon now. But so just using my tree rope here, dragging it from there all the way out that way. So it's a lot of work. I got this one to do, that one over there to do, and then I've got one way over there I need to drag out that way. So, but it's a lot of work, but I love being out here.